Well, 2017 spring trip begins, as they all do. Heading to Timmy's. If I keep filming, maybe Larry will pay.
That's a good strategy.
Anyway, what's for breakfast, Lee?
The usual bacon English muffin.
And the jumbo
And
coffee.
Big honkin' coffee.
Stayed at Larry's house last night.
We got off a little late this morning.
Which is a first. But I blame him for the lack of preparations. Not waking me, no towel in my bathroom,
Credit.
no shampoo. Last chance to have a good wash. There goes the old credit card. We'll talk to you on the road. Northbound on the 401, beauty day. There's a fair bit of traffic out today, considering it's early Saturday morning. There's the old Chatelaine restaurant. That's where Brother and Lee and I used to toil and cavort with various other misfits from King City. Oh, and I'm going to show you another thing here. Pull over on the right lane.
Yeah.
Watch for traffic. Watch for traffic, though.
On the 400.
King City, see the sign there, folks? That's where we grew up. That's
And the airport.
our hometown. Yeah, that's what I'm going to show them.
Oh, okay.
This is the airport here, King City Airport, which is no longer. But we both did our private pilot license there many, many moons ago. Little 1,800-foot runway.
On a hill.
And on a hill, and you used to come off the edge of this hill here to the King Valley Ski Club. If you didn't get airborne, you were going skiing. And there it is, King Road, Nobleton, King City. Brings back a lot of memories heading north on this road. Northbound on Highway 11. A bit of Jackson Brown. We're entering Algonquin country. 30 seconds of airtime is all I'm allowed. Otherwise, we'd have copyright infringements.
Slapped.
Brother Lee says, sun is shining. Let's hope it stays that way. We just got our, we're in Kearney, and we just got our permits. And checked out the forecast. It looks pretty interesting. The first 3 days call for mixed precipitation, and quite a bit of it. I think today a little bit of rain, and tomorrow morning, overnight it's supposed to be 0, and then in the morning snow, and then later on snow and rain. So it's gonna be an interesting journey. So we'll have to see how it goes. I'm sure we'll have some stories to tell. We're on the rather unassumed road into the Tim Lake access point. There's some kind of ATV convention going on here today, and pickup truck convention. We did pass by a little bit of snow on the side of the road. It just piled up from the snow plowing in the winter, but for the most part the bush does not look to have any snow in it. I'm sure there's pockets around in the shady areas. And we'll talk more at the lake. Well, here we are at the Tim Lake access point. Nice and sunny right now, but it is very cool. 6 degrees and a good stiff breeze. I'm surprised there's that many cars in the parking lot. One young fellow over there going out solo for 8 days, he said. He's going to go down the nip and then back up the nip. And we're just getting unloaded. But I brought lots of warm clothing. They're saying snow for tomorrow. We'll see. We're all loaded up, ready to go, and I don't know if this is picking up the wind noise, but it's windy and it's cold. See what it's like out there. Okay, we made it across Tim Lake. We're all business because there's a bit of a wind, so no filming across there. Portage number 1, 3:45. I guess we're probably the first ones through, although it seems like there's quite a few cars in the parking lot. So who knows? A lot of people out fishing, I'm sure. We just started the 8:45 or something portage today, so there's two 800 and something back to back. This one starts from the nice hill. So I'm going to do this one. Steve will do the next one. And we'll be exhausted. I use a top line, but it does take a little fiddling to get it right. And I don't have it quite right. Not enough tension. I had too much before. Now not enough. This old guy's puffing and puffing. I'll see you closer to the end. Well, I don't know, we're about 7 or 8 minutes in. So probably halfway. Flattened out nicely. So it's okay, but now stop gingerly across the stream. What am I saying? Gingerly? I mean gingerly. Oh crap. Big hill. I won't put you through my huff and puff. Well, that was a mostly uphill portage. Tough. Now I'm headed downhill. I can see the water. Always a welcome sight. There's plenty of moose scat. It's reasonably fresh along the trail here. It hasn't been too bad for blowdown stuff. No snow in the bush, which is good. Some water, wet. Steve brought big rubber boots this time. I saw a guy in the fall, an older man, older than us that is, and he was by himself on the Dixon to Bonfield. And he had these rubber boots on. I thought, that looks like a good idea. So he's trying it out, and so far he likes it. I may have to try it myself. More moose. Scat. We're at the beginning of the very last portage of the day, and Steve has requested more airtime. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to my co-host for commentary on the day.
Just want him to be aware that maybe people don't want to see it, all the selfies of him.
Anyway, we're resting here.
Yeah.
Our packs. That one he's got is fairly monstrous. So he's going to carry the canoe this time. See what it's like. And I'm going to carry that pack, see what it's like.
Oh, it's there. GoPro and stop recording.
So here we go. Last portage of the day to Bob Lake. You seem pretty heavily weighted down this year. I'm hoping that after we eat those 2 big steaks tonight, the load's a little bit lighter. Not a bad day all in all though.
together. And you can see some of the blowdown behind me here. Very stiff breeze blowing across the lake. I hope we can find a campsite out of the wind. Because it's a cool breeze. So, even though this is a fairly pricey tent, it's a Hillyberg Anyan, we have been out in a torrential downpour and water came up underneath because there was a river running through it. Cliff Jacobson, a well-known author and canoeing expert, has recommended putting a ground sheet inside the tent. So that's what I've done. I got some poly tarp. This is the vapor barrier that you use for insulation. Just cut off a piece to fit inside, so it goes up the walls, and that hopefully will keep us dry from at least from the underneath. We're supposed to get a lot of rain this week, so I wanted to take extra precautions. That's just one of them. Larry, could you repeat for your audience what you just told me to do? Brother Lee's experiencing a little bit of difficulty there. Technical difficulties. It's a little bit windy and the tarp got a little twisted. And his vocabulary is expanding. As you can see, it's challenging. But I'm supervising. Tonight's dinner, 2 fine steaks, some Brussels sprouts, which are parboiled, and now Steve's going to saute them. And what else do we have?
I don't know.
I think
you were going to make bread, weren't you?
that was no, not tonight.
Probably enough.
Yeah. Steak and Brussels sprouts. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Life.
Well, life and today.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have a nice sunset today, but snow tomorrow, apparently. And we're gonna enjoy some nice steaks, which are on the fire.
Steve's decided we need a bigger fire. Hopefully none of those poppers come off there and burn me. It's a little chilly tonight. I think we're on our way to some chilly sleeping conditions. Anyway, we're staying warm now. Got all our layers on, and a nice fire going.
You haven't eaten your chocolate.
And I haven't eaten my chocolate yet. We're enjoying our cigars. Steve's done his. He's on to his rum.
Cheers.
Well, actually, what is that? 5th, 6th? No, it's his like 2nd. Well, we woke up to, I guess what was forecast, which is Kind of a nightmare on Big Bob, as you can see by the ice pellets.
At least it's not wet though.
Yeah, at least it's not raining. It was a cold night. Okay, as we mentioned, it's snow pelleting, or whatever the appropriate term is. Steve did manage to get a fire going. We got the coffee brewing over here. Well, the water for the coffee. It's actually not too bad when you're up and moving around. It's kind of windy. It's obviously it's around 0 or something. So we're gonna have to make a decision as to whether or not we stay or go. If it turns to rain, I think it might be a stay decision. Cold rain is never fun.
Day 2. Trying conditions. And yet, the perfect
Sandwich.
breakfast sandwich.
Cooked on a fire. This reminds me of Kevin Callan's video on YouTube, Nightmare on, I think it was Gouda. Well, we have Nightmare on Big Bob. Well, we're making the best of it. Hot coffee.
It's not a nightmare until it starts getting wet. Right now this stuff is just ice pellets. It's just, most of it's just pelting off the ground. Oh, and it's not that windy. But
So far.
who knows what's in store.
Well, not in here.
So we've decided to weather the storm on Big Bob. To do that, we're sitting under the tarp. As the snow has turned to rain, it's cold, it's like 1 degree.
We're having fun though.
We're having fun. We're gonna have some hot chocolate cooked on our little stick stove here. Little Bug Junior. It's nice and light. Takes quite a bit of feeding, but it doesn't seem to have a low setting. Anyway, better tend the fire. Get a nice boil of hot water, and we're gonna have some hot chocolate on this gorgeous day. We got snow on the ground, well, ice pellets on the ground. And as I mentioned, it's turned to rain. Steve's in a glorious mood. And I'll just have to put up with him.
Well, the rain has let up a bit. I decided to get a fire going, if nothing else, just to keep me warm, the activity. Because it gets a little cold sitting around. Larry's trying some fishing. Still spitting. Doesn't feel too bad when you move around, but when you sit still, it gets cold pretty darn quickly.
Okay, Steve. Tell the folks about your boots. His new investment.
Well, the thought occurred to me that, well, it didn't occur to me actually. I saw a guy last year wearing rubber boots, and it was pouring rain that day, and he's just walking in and out of he walked through the forest, and then you could push the boat off, get your feet wet, and so I thought I'd give it a try. And yesterday was the first day that I did it. I was kind of worried that my feet might sweat, but it was a cool day and my feet didn't sweat at all. And there was lots of water on the portage and lots of mud, and I just cruised right through it. Every once in a while I have to go down in the water and just put my feet in the water, just to remind myself that I am totally dry and comfortable.
And it makes it get easier getting in and out of the boat too. So I can get in, and then he can slide us into the water.
Anyway, they got a pretty good sole on it. Good traction. I also find when I'm walking through the bush looking for firewood, if branches and that hit your shins, you don't get scraped up. Hopefully it doesn't poke a hole in them, no. And I find them quite warm, because it's been very cold. And if you put your feet by the fire, they warm up.
Have we mentioned that? It's cold.
Yeah.
It warmed up to about 4 degrees, but it's still cold.
So this is an all-day fire.
Yeah.
Gives us a job to do.
Looking for wood, cutting wood, burning wood. We didn't provide any sort of update last night. It got a little hairy around here. It started to pour rain, like pour rain. Steve had a fire going, managed to keep it going through the drizzle, the light rain throughout the day pretty much. So we quickly cooked up dinner on the fire while it was pouring rain, because it was a good enough fire to keep going through the rain. Ate our dinner. It was about 6 o'clock, and then we went to bed. And it poured rain all night long. Even though I had that ground sheet in, anywhere we touched the walls of the tent, something got wet. Although we stayed relatively dry, there's some stuff that's wet. Everything's, wet and damp, and it's cold. I looked at the forecast, and it's heavy rain for the next 2 or 3 days. So we are at a decision point as to whether or not we carry on, because it's really not that fun. And it's more of an endurance test than anything else. I'm sure we could endure, but at our age I don't think we have to prove anything. And it does get a little dangerous too. It's easy to get hypothermia in these sorts of conditions, so we don't want to mess around. So we'll let you know our decision later. We're gonna have some coffee and cold breakfast this morning. Don't want to get too complicated. Monday, 4 degrees, pouring rain. The only one that's happy is that seagull over on the island that's nesting. I think the loons are okay too. But we're having a good time. Oh my God, look at that. We're just packing up, getting ready to go. Maybe we'll wait for this shower to hopefully pass. Portage 1 of 4 is done. We're on our way out. It's absolutely miserable. Goes from pouring rain to light rain. The portage is completely soaked. The river.
I'm glad I got these. Are you staying dry?
So far.
You never know when you step into them how deep they're going to be. We somehow we missed the turn in the portage, because this sure looks like a trail, but as you can see, it's just a wee bit muddy. Wee bit muddy.
The moose is right now, I think.
But we realized we made a mistake, so we're going to do some backtracking. Yeah, there's moose caca everywhere.
Another adventure comes to an end. This one a little shorter than we would have liked.